we've got a banger to cast. To commentate. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Babylon, we have the red Zerg player. Just took down Gumiho in a banger match. It is Dongray Gu. And his opponent in the lower right-hand corner. For Dragon Kitesy Gaming, it's the blue Protoss, herO. Gonna be a very tough one for DRG to take down arguably the best PvZ player in the world. Would like to take this moment to remind everyone, if you're watching on YouTube, to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And if you're watching live on Twitch, because you're either a degenerate up very late or you're in a region where this is not at a crazy time, hit that follow button. And if you're feeling really spicy, you can hit that subscribe button. And if you're like, no, I don't want to do any of those things because I don't want to support you, streamer, caster, Chickenman, I don't care about you. I care about the games. Well, I got good news for you. Click on that Patreon link and support the KSL there, please, because we have unfortunately lost a lot of support from a couple of our big players who really helped get us going. Have both had to drop down their support by quite a bit, and we're looking for a lot of little donors. You know, a lot of people who can spend that $5 a month and help support Korean StarCraft to just keep us going and get us ready for the Summer Slam, which we've got planned for the end of August. I'm really excited for it, and I'm really hoping that we can hit that, keep pushing that prize pool up. We're planning on a $3,000 prize pool right now, but we really need that Patreon support to make that happen. I really appreciate that. For all of you guys who are supporting the Patreon, you are heroes. Just like this guy. You are heroes. And I need a hero. I'm holding out for a hero. He's gotta be strong, and he's gotta be fast, and he's gotta be larger than life. That Adept just kill a drone from the high ground? That is so rude. Who designed this map? How dare you let the Adept kill a drone from up there? Oh, Twitch chatter, your New Year's resolution was to only support OnlyFans models. Well, do I have good news for you? Exclamation mark OnlyFans in the chat. Check it out. Who's laughing now? Me. I'm laughing now. I'm laughing now because I know what that link goes to. All right, I should talk about this game a little bit. It's been extremely standard. There hasn't been much to really keep an eye on, but you know, a few drones have gone down to the Adept Oracle combo. Hero taking the third base, getting into almost certainly Blink and +1 here. I mean, this is kind of what every PvZ has looked like for a while. The Adept pressure even is very, very standard. Oh, going to finish that Shade, feeling confident against the Lings. Not a lot of Lings out, but 12 more on the way. Oh, more coming behind that. Oh, really nice Evo Chamber. DRG just trying to buy time to get those Lings over here, keep the drones alive. Somehow these Adepts are still going, but they haven't targeted down the drones. They've only gotten one more. Triple Oracle coming in, though. Oh, these are going to help out quite a bit. The Queen's coming over. They have enough energy for transfuse. Well, still not a lot of drones dying here. But herO keeping the pressure on, being annoying. That's going to keep any pressure off of him, right? The Ling's got to stay at home. More Adepts threatening to shade in. Oracle's still threaten the stasis ward, but DRG a little too good for that. DRG does have +1 melee on the way, though, and I do really like that. I like the +1 melee. I think getting into those melee upgrades early is always a really good call against the style that herO's going for, which is, of course, that blinking +1. More gateways coming down now to buff up that stalker count, and herO will start putting pressure on with them in a little bit. But if the Lings have +1 melee, it does make them a little bit better at defending against any stalker pressure, and maybe putting some pressure onto herO, who's about to take a 4th base before DRG's is finished. That is not usually what you're looking for as the Zerg player, being even on workers and slightly ahead on bases, but really only slightly. Oh, Blink not quite done yet, and these stalkers get caught. The Oracle's sleeping on the job. Really nice for DRG, but Lings are going to run into another big group of stalkers, and they will get shoved away. DRG gets set up for a little attack onto this 4th base, but 2 Adepts and the shield battery might be a little too much. DRG pulling those Lings back. I feel like they could have gotten something done, but they're needed back at home. And they are so far away. Queen's getting targeted down by the Stalkers, who are going to blink back against the Lings now. Oracle helping out against those Lings. herO going to go for the recall to make sure these Stalkers get out of here. I think that ended up going really nicely for him. He did kill quite a few Queens, I think, with that one. Yeah, 4 Queens just went down. Traded with a few Lings as well. I think herO's going to be very happy with that. DRG getting into Roaches now, and Banes. So Bane speed, Roach speed on the way. +2 melee coming up. DRG starts going for that 5th base. herO's 4th is already getting pretty saturated here. He's going to try to counterattack. No shield battery in this wall. So the Adept's going to go down very quickly. Ling's just going to dive in. They're going for it. Sneaking by these Stalkers. Well, they don't really know where to go. They're going to have to target down some probes, I think, as the Stalkers show up to stop them from getting too much damage done. That felt like a really good move from DRG, but the Stalkers in the main and the quick response from herO means that was a lot of Lings for 4 probes and a couple of units. Not the best trade in the world for DRG. And now herO looks like he's going to go for a push. There are a few Banes that just popped, a few more being morphed here. Ravager's morphing as well, but 2-1 is about to finish for herO, and he is pressuring with Stalkers on the bottom side, Zealots on the top side. I think the Zealots will get cleared pretty easily. I don't know about the Stalkers, though. I love the stasis traps as well. Really nice bio to clear that one and allow the Lings to dive in. Second one gets triggered by just 2 Lings. Beautiful play here from DRG. Does he have enough left on the top side to handle the next warping of Zealots, though? It looks like the Roaches will hold on long enough for some more units to get here. I don't know if this is enough units, though. I'm a little bit worried, actually. DRG needs to get some more units over here before the drones start dying. We are going to see a couple of drones go down, but DRG will push that away. Done a very good job defending so far, but herO's economy is still going strong. That 5th base is nearly done. DRG's scouting it, but nothing he can do right now. He just needs to keep holding on and hope he can kill some of these Stalkers. Trying to push this Prism away, but Zealots got warped in time. Seems like DRG has held on. He does have a Hive on the way, as well as a Hydra Den, so he wants to get into those Lurkers. herO getting into some Immortals, it looks like, but doesn't really have much else out right now. I think he is getting prepared for Lurkers with another Oracle coming out for tags. So many stasis traps, but not catching a ton of units. The Stalkers are going to blink all the way back. Zealots have made their way into the main base and are doing decently against some queens, but I think they will get cleaned up fairly shortly here. DRG's worker count has stayed pretty consistent, but herO's has as well. If we take a look at the income, it has been pretty back and forth, fairly even. The resources lost slightly in favor of herO, but I actually don't hate DRG's position here. As he starts up Adrenaline, he's starting to push into this base. Needs to kill this overcharged shield battery, though. There it goes. And I think herO's going to have to back up. Oracle is going to really help out here, though. The Immortal showing up at a crucial time to push this attack away. herO's going to be able to hold on to this base. Does lose a few probes, though. Does lose some of the positioning here. Going to have to rebuild the shield battery cannon situation. And that's going to pull some of the pressure off of DRG, I think, and allow him to maybe get the 6th base set up. Looks like he's checking for a 6th base of herO. I'm going to be happy not to spot that right now. Now the Zealot counterattack finds the Ling counterattack. I think the Lings lose this battle. Yeah, more Zealots coming over. Roach is going to have to help here for sure. At the same time, Stalker army down on the bottom side continuing to poke and prod. herO is such a master at this. Adrenal's nearly done. That will help DRG so much. But until then, these Lings are decent, but not great. They have no Carapace upgrades. And I think that's actually a real problem here for DRG, is the lack of any Carapace upgrades to help these units. herO, in the meantime, is on 2-2, or 3-2, excuse me. Just needs to get that last armor upgrade, or maybe go for shields. herO seems content to be sitting on 5 bases for, wait, hold on. Yeah, 5 bases, I can count. For now. Doesn't seem to be trying to take a 6th base, but he has stopped DRG's 6th from going down. I think he's quite all right with being on even bases with the Zerg. But Lurkers are starting to be made. They almost have their range upgrade. And that's going to make it a lot harder for these units to move around as they have been. Stalkers can kill Lurkers fairly quickly, but Lurkers kill Stalkers fairly quickly. Ooh, and this counterattack is looking quite nice. Are we going to need to see a recall from herO? There's a lot of Lings here. That Adrenal is done. Roaches and Raptors backing them up as well. The overcharged shield battery doing really nicely. Oh, the Stalkers don't recall. They just walk home and kill all the rest of this. That looks so good for DRG right up until it didn't. Couple Lurkers that are here do burrow, but the blink forward, the Lurkers were tagged. The other ones have not finished morphing yet. Lings and Main's going to smash into those Stalkers, though. They have nowhere to run. They already used their blink. And now the Roaches push forward. The Oracles, though, doing so much damage. There's no Hydras here or Queens or Spores to push them away. The Oracles gun down another Lurker before herO's forced to back up, but herO has taken the supply lead now. He's up in workers, he's up in army, he's up in upgrades. It feels like herO's ahead in just about every way that matters. Really, the one thing that DRG has going for him is having these Lurkers out. But when he's so far down in supply, I don't know if it matters. I don't know if that's going to be enough, I guess I should say. Look at this counterattack. This is honestly almost as much supply in this counterattack as there is in the main army of herO. So many Zealots. The Banelings are not enough. The Lings are not enough. And now herO moves through the middle. He's just trying to be annoying, clear some of this creep. Could try to blink on the Lurkers that are left alone. The Zealots do get pushed back, but DRG just taps out. It's too much. herO's constant pressure from both sides just pummeling DRG. I actually feel like DRG was holding on really nicely for such a long time, but eventually it was too much. Even the Lurkers coming out didn't really change the state of the game for him. It just felt like as soon as those Lurkers came out, herO was like, oh, it's okay, I'll just kill them too. It really doesn't matter. It's too far ahead. It looks like in the meantime, on the other side of the bracket, Dark went up against Classic in the semifinals, but Classic was able to take it, knocking Dark out and not giving us that herO versus Dark rematch that I think we were maybe expecting. We'll see if herO can close this out here and give us a PvP finals. Ooh. That will mean we'll actually have one of each mirror matchup in the KSL finals. Honestly, the like racial split of KSL has been pretty good, I feel like. In terms of like the semis and the finals. Yeah, wow. Currently, Zerg has won 4 and gotten 4 second places. Terran has won 4 and gotten 3 second places. And Protoss has won 3 and gotten 4 second places. That's wild, actually. So even. Honestly, great job, David Kim. What a spectacular, balanced game we have. Spawning in the upper left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the red Zerg player representing Abydos. It's the one true Dong, Regu. His opponent in the lower right-hand corner for Dragon Kites Gaming in the blue. It's herO. herO looking like the best PvZ player in the world in that last game. Honestly, it felt like a very DRG game to me, though. And I think DRG does really well in those kinds of scenarios where it is just like that constant back and forth battling and pressure. What really won herO that game, I think more than anything, was every time DRG tried to push across the map and get some damage done on the other side, herO took a fantastic defensive trade. Every time I thought some damage was going to get done, it really just wasn't. And herO seemed to deflect everything beautifully, especially that last attack from DRG right before the lurkers popped out. It ended up going really poorly for him. It looked so good at the start, but the Stalkers got there, joined up with the rest of the army, and just cleaned DRG up. Suddenly those lurkers were coming out as like a last-ditch effort to hold on. And lurkers are pretty good, but when you have like 2 of them and you're trying desperately to just not die, it's really not a good situation. I feel like that was the real linchpin of herO winning, was his defense. If DRG had been able to kill a base or get a bunch of probes for, you know, not much spent, I think that game could have looked a lot different, but herO seemed very free to expand, so we're going to need to see something work a little bit better for DRG in this game in order for him to take it. Assuming we see a similar game, and honestly, I really do assume we're going to see a similar game. DRG is a super fun player to watch because he does play that style a lot, where it feels like he's always playing with just enough to deflect what's coming at him, to put the pressure on, to keep it exciting. And herO's been playing that style of PvZ for a long time now. Heavy gateway units. No splash damage. Not a single splash damage unit in that army. Just Stalkers and Zealots mostly. Couple of support units occasionally. So fun to watch. herO again being annoying with this Adept. Could actually kill a drone from the high ground again, but I'm not going to go up there this time. Some links sneaking across the map, maybe trying to check out this third base. herO's going to keep the Oracle back at home to make sure that's all that they can do. I think it's just the 6 lings, so not much of a threat. I think it's nice for DRG, though, to keep the Oracle back at home like this. Very minimal investment, and just doesn't have to worry about it for a little while. Allows him to get these spore crawlers up, get more queens out. Another Evo chamber in the back, the mineral line. This game feels like a carbon copy of last game, which means we're kind of chilling for a little bit. herO's gonna poke around with the oracles. Yeah, okay, it is 2 oracles. Gonna poke around with the oracles, see if he can't get a couple of thrones. Probably will be able to. And then pressure with a few adepts, most likely. That's usually how it goes. Blinking +1 on the way. DRG in the meantime, going to be building a bunch of lings, queens, defending with those until the roaches and banelings start coming out. It's exciting stuff. It means we get a bit of chill time here. And we can just enjoy the, I don't know, the strengths of these players. I feel like both of these players really, really love playing in that mid game like we saw last game. They're both very good at it. And I hope we get another one just like it. I would love to see DRG take a game. I think it's going to be really hard. herO is, again, probably the best PvZ player in the world. And DRG looking very strong against Gumiho. And honestly, that game 1 was really nice in a lot of ways. But I don't know how he gets that damage done to herO that he needs to. How does he change his game? How does he change what he does in this game to make it work better? I don't know. I don't really know. This is an interesting base for herO to take. It's a little bit forward, but it's definitely more exposed. DRG might be able to take advantage of it. In fact, the Stalkers are not here, and the Lings get a full surround. That is a cancel base. So, you know what? Already, we're seeing DRG, I would say, in a bit of a better position than last game. Just from that, just a delay on the 4th, already he's done something he couldn't do last game, which is stop herO from getting anything he wants. That being said, 9 drones just died, so that little advantage DRG just got, herO took it right back. I still don't hate this for DRG, but it does kind of suck because I feel like now we've kind of just evened out. He's going to rebuild those drones. Not really a problem. DRG does see that this prism is here, though. And I feel like herO's showing that is not particularly ideal. Queen's going to chase it away. Yeah, they're going to keep chasing it away. It looks like it will live. Some roaches try to show up to support the queens, but delays this warping by a little bit. herO going to put on a lot of pressure, though, warping in more stalkers behind this. A lot of roaches out. Not a lot of lings with this, though. It looks like the lings are going for a counterattack. There's a shield battery here, but there's nothing else to support the shield battery. herO going to warp in stalkers, but that means he's not warping in on the other side of the map. And so that means DRG's going to have an easier time defending as more lings and roaches come out. Built a couple Ravagers as well, and this prism, I think, might be 1 less bile to kill. You know, I'm not going to pretend I can do math. So we're going to assume that that's not the case, but it could be. It's a little bit in a precarious situation with the less hit points. And as the Stalkers come back in, DRG's got a lot more here this time. Ooh, some banelings from the back, too, just getting in on top of a couple of Stalkers. herO is going to lift up in the prism. He's going to sneak out, blinks away, trading with some of those lings, but I think DRG's happy to get those units off of his back. He's got his 5th base up. I feel like a few more drones could be good, and DRG agrees, building a few more of those drones. herO's going to start up his own 5th base. We are starting to feel like we're in a similar situation to last game. A bit more roach heavy from DRG, though. I feel like he was more ling heavy last game. We're starting to get into some of those lings now. Here we go with herO hitting on one side with Zealots and on the other side with Stalkers. And as I say that, he groups them together. Maybe trying to take advantage of the fact that DRG doesn't have enough in one position to defend everything. The rest of DRG's army shows up. and will push this back, at least off creep. Speaking of creep, the creep on the top side is looking pretty nice for DRG. herO might want to clear that a little bit. Creep on the bottom, a little less good. Well, herO's going to come back in. This base feeling pretty exposed right now. DRG are going to have to deal with this. Needs to send some units up into the main to deal with this Prism, though. Oh, looks like the Queens are going to go down, which means that Prism gets to live for a little while longer, long enough to get these Zealots to warp in. But it looks like it will get killed after that. The Zealots are in. That's a lot of them. Stalkers are still pressuring the front, too. DRG needs to leave some units to deal with these Stalkers. Okay, he splits off some Banelings and some Roaches, sending the Lings out there. Lurker Den going to get targeted down, and that will get canceled. Immediately restarted here for DRG as he clears up these Zealots. Stalker's still threatening. They're going to clear up some of this creep finally, but that's really all that herO can do down here. He's going to clear up some creep, and then DRG is going to chase him away. Ooh, actually some Stalkers getting caught, trying to retreat. Don't have Blink available. DRG finally getting some victories here, clearing up all those Zealots in the main. They delayed the Lurker Den, but that was about it. And now we see a big supply lead here for DRG, which is not something we had last game. I feel like this is going much better for the Zerg player this time. As herO can't keep that pressure up as much, he decides to go into Archons, and that tells me that, yeah, this pressure isn't working nearly as well. He never went into Archons last game. He didn't feel the need to. He felt he could just keep it going with the Stalkers and Zealots. This game, he's like, all right, I need a beefier army. I need to be able to take a fight against all of these Lings that are about to have Adrenal again. Lurkers are on the way out. Ooh, herO going to try to catch these Lings. Nope, they're too fast, too speedy. The real problem for DRG is he does not have a 6th base. Looks like he might be trying to put one down here. But there's no creep spread around here to protect it. And that's going to be a problem as herO is right where that creep spread really wishes it could be. Oh, he's not going to push down the ramp. Zealot will see that this base is going down. DRG's not too far away with his army. I don't know if herO wants to take this fight. Zealots and Stalkers on the other side cleaning up the Ling portion of DRG's army. Now herO will move in. Right as DRG leaves, he's going to force a cancel on that base. DRG wants to come in and punish him for it. It looks like he's going to get all of these Archons, knocking it down to just the Stalkers, which he can then chase back a little bit more easily. On the other side, DRG seems to be clearing up the Zealots. Again, the Stalker is going to get pushed away. herO very good at keeping those alive. And herO's starting to get into Disruptors, so he feels the need for splash damage, which I think is absolutely correct, as Hydras are starting to come out, and those will be Lurkers before too long. Worth noting, herO also starting up +1. He knows he needs to get a transition going. He can't just sit on gateway units the whole game anymore. DRG is a little bit too far ahead. He will get those Lurkers up, and they will be in a much better position this game than last game. DRG feeling good on the defense. Needs to be a little bit careful of these Disruptor Novas and of the reinforcements coming in. This hero's going to do some damage to this army and force it all the way back. DRG going to send some units in to try to stop this base from coming up, and you know what? These are +2 Adrenalings. I don't think this base is happening right now. There's no warping available up there. It's going to be a full cancel. herO going to try to get some damage on in a counterattack, though. Recalls a bunch of units home. The Lurkers trying to get set up in a good position. Where are the Disruptor Novas, though? Ooh, he's not going to be able to fire them off. Or is he? Ooh, gets the Ravagers. Loses a couple Disruptors for it, though. I don't know if that's really worth it. Just kind of an even trade more than anything. 15 probes going down in the meantime as herO loses a ton of his economy down here. That is important because, again, DRG's economy has not been great. Worker count's still pretty much even. So that's kind of necessary damage for DRG. But now we're in a slower portion of the game here. Oh, no! herO spotting these Lurkers, kills 4 of them with 2 Novas because the Zealots were distracting DRG, and now it's just a couple of Lurkers, and now it's none Lurkers. Another huge disruptor connection. The Stalkers are fighting against a lot of these Adrenalings. More disruptors showing up isn't enough to clear this. The Zealots come in as well, and that will be enough to push DRG back. But DRG's on his side of the map. He doesn't want to get pushed back. Lurkers are going to burrow. I think that will force herO back a little bit, but he's going to start picking off some drones here. That economy that DRG really can't afford to lose. Whew, big yoinks though. The Vipers coming in clutch. But where are the Lurkers? I think there's 2 Lurkers right now. A morphing Lurker got canceled there. A couple more going to start up. Ling's trying to hit in a counterattack. They could start working on those gates, but I think they got clicked a wrong way. Yeah, realizing there is a full wall here. Just going to start hitting the outside of it. None of these units shoot over a wall. Forces a warp in. Forces herO to stay at home for a little bit. That's going to buy DRG a little bit of time. Suck up some energy. Get a few Lurkers morphed. And maybe get a defense going. He needs drones at this base, though. He really needs to get mining at that 6th. herO has not been able to transition to any sort of air units. He got +1. Oh, no, he canceled +1, actually. Decided not to. And now we've got a cheeky Nidus on the top side. We've got a Nidus in the main base. These Lurkers need to go burrow somewhere. Ooh, all of a sudden, herO's starting to get pulled a little bit out of position, losing some workers here. And trying desperately to deal with this. He's dealing with the burrowed units with his own invisible units. But this is taking a very long time. This is so good for DRG. It's kind of expensive, but I think it's well worth it. And the Lings are going to take advantage of there not being enough stuff here. Some DTs do warp in. That's going to help out quite a bit. They will swippity swipe through these Zerglings that are around. The Lings still trade decently with the Stalkers that are there. And you know what? This Nidus is still up in the main. Oh my god, there's even an Overseer here. Help out against the DTs. But there's a lot of DTs. There are like too many DTs. 13 of them out on the map. Does he have DT Blink? That is my question. No. All right, herO. You got to get on that. Oof. The Forges get depowered. That's actually brutal. herO really needs to pay attention to that, but he's so focused on trying to defend all these positions. 12 more probes going down to 58. This is such nice work out of DRG. Now his 6th base fully up and running. He's got a 7th on the way. He did lose this 3rd at some point. I have no idea when that happened. But he has killed a lot of probes. He stopped herO from being able to take that 6th base and kept herO's economy down. Is exactly what I was talking about from last game that it felt like he needed to do. But herO is stabilized a little bit. He's getting that worker count back up. There's still some Nidus Swarm action happening, but nothing currently in the Nidus, I think, to really worry about. Ling's looking for a counterattack, but Archons and Zealots say absolutely not. DRG going to move over here with the Lurkers and start working through this wall. He could also Nidus into the main. I mean, he's sending the Nidus into the main. He could also send all of these units into this Nidus and pop them out in the main base. But right now, DRG is hitting in multiple locations, sending a huge swarm of Lings over to the 5th base, trying to hit the 4th, but the army is there. Oh, this 5th base is fully dead. And the Lurkers have busted through this wall. They're starting to work on the cannons and shield batteries and static defense here. DRG is knocking down herO's bases, knocking down his economy to a very, very low point. herO's barely mining from his natural, and this 4th base is getting quite low. He really needs to get another base back up. herO is in dire straits right now. He's going to push across the map. He's not getting a base. He's trying to get unsupply blocked, and he's just going to try to kill DRG. DRG, though, he's got the Lurkers, he's got the Vipers, blinding clouds in beautiful positions. Those Archons can't do anything. The Disruptor Novas are fantastic, but there's so many Lurkers behind this. I don't think it's going to matter. The Vipers can yoink these big, beefy units, Archons and Disruptors, and whittle away at herO's army. You need a little more energy to do that. Baneling's going to smash into the Disruptors, though. And that's the last of herO's army. He's on 7 probes back at home. DRG will tie the series up 1-1. Ooh. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's hot. Oh, we like that. Now this is StarCraft. Agreed. Agreed. Oof. Okay, game 3. Neo-Humanity is going to be our map. Oh, that's so fun. It's so cool how we kind of got to see the same game twice. But DRG, it felt like he recognized what he needed to do in game 2. And his defense worked a bit better. I like the way he expanded. I feel like that made it a little bit easier for him to defend the, like, stalkers on one side, zealots on the other thing. Here wasn't even really able to make that happen as easily. Because of the better defense, herO kind of had to back up. He had to tech more than in game 1. That gave DRG a chance to do the same thing, get his economy going. And I think, again, really the big thing was in game 1, herO didn't take any damage from the counterattacks, and in game 2, DRG ended up doing a lot of damage. And once that started happening, it just snowballed. And now I've been kind of feeling this, but I wasn't really sure how to put it. I've realized what makes these two players similar in their play styles, at least in terms of this matchup for herO. But I think DRG across the board, they both tend to play in these kind of snowbally styles. They'll play with lots of lower tech units. And that's pretty common for Zergs, but DRG really does like to do that. And if he can sneak a little advantage, he'll just keep pushing that advantage with those lower tech units while he does tech up behind it. But it's really the Lings doing so much of that work. That's always been the case for DRG. He's been playing like that for a decade. And herO's been playing that style in PvZ for, what, like a year and a half at this point? And it's that heavy gateway style, and it's so momentum-based. If he can eke those early game advantages out with those first Blink Stalker pressures, even before that, with the first couple of Adepts, with the first couple of Oracles, we've seen herO take down lesser Zergs with just the first few Adepts, the first couple Oracles, not even lesser Zergs. I feel like some very good Zergs have tapped out against herO before the Blink Stalkers even come into play. herO tries to get little advantages at the start and just work into the Zerg. Work the knife deeper and deeper under that carapace. But DRG last game didn't let that happen. The only time he took big drone damage was right after he forced to cancel on that 4th base. So it was like the one time where DRG could afford to take the drone damage, and it was just kind of even. But we'll see if that kind of thing happens again this game, or if herO is able to take that early game advantage that I kind of feel like he needs with that style of play. I also wonder if he's going to keep doing the same thing. I think it's likely, but herO is definitely the kind of player that won't shy away from just dropping like a Glaive to Depths build now, you know? Pop something like that out. Maybe not hyper aggressive. I don't think he needs to be hyper aggressive, but he could change it up a little bit just to keep DRG on his toes. I do feel like DRG is very likely to do the same build. Pretty heavy Ling, +1 melee. The Ling Queen defense in the early game for Zerg has just been so standard for so long. Oh, we already are seeing a little bit of a difference here from herO. It's not a huge difference, but you know what? It's very notable. herO going for the Phoenix first. That's going to make it... it's going to delay this Oracle a little bit. The Oracle crucial in defending the 3rd base. More importantly, though, it's going to stop any scouting from DRG. Not something hero's usually worried about. That Overlord goes in and it's like, all right, you're going blinking +1. Woohoo. Whoopity-doo. But hero doesn't want DRG to know what's in his main this game. So what could that mean? What could that mean for us? We're going to have to keep an eye on hero's base. I have a feeling he is going to change it up a little bit. He could also completely not change it up a little bit just to really throw us off here. But the Oracle's going to grab a couple of kills. These drones are like, no, I'm a building. No, there's no drones here. I'm a building. Run away. Oracle goes over there and it's like, wow, look at all these buildings. Shame there's no drones, dude. Really hoping for some drones. Yeah. Okay. Changing it up a little bit. So hero's still going for Twilight Council Forge, but with the Robo. And I feel like this Robo is earlier than last game. And I could be wrong because I'm often wrong. But it feels like this might be some Glaive to Depths. I'm mining a lot of gas for that, so could be a little crazy. Stasis Traps trying to get some drones here. Forcing a lot of lost mining time, but not catching too many of those droners. Ooh, it's Charge. So this was the third option. The third upgrade available to hero on this building. Charge is fun. Okay. Are we going to see him pull off of gas? Or is this like, be like Charge Lot Archon? We see a Templar Archives go down pretty soon. Could be a big Charge Lot Archon push out of hero. It does feel like it's going to be some sort of push. Charge first, Charisma on the way. There's the Templar Archives. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna see a nice big old push here from hero. Just kind of it's something that really counters the Queen Ling opener. It's very good against Queen Ling. This Roach Warren feels a little too late to deal with this, and I'm worried that DRG is just assuming this is the same thing. Right? He's gonna come over here. He's gonna see nothing crazy. But one thing he should really be noting right now is the lack of stalkers. We have no stalkers out. He's not being pushed away by 6 stalkers waiting for blink, right? He was pushed away by an adept and a shield battery. I feel like that should tell him something. I don't know if he can pinpoint exactly what without further scouting, but he's got to know something's coming. Ooh, Disruptors to follow this up as well. So I think hero, it looks like he's not going for a push. Yeah, he's going to grab a 4th base. But he is going to do an Archon drop with the ability to warp in charge lots with it, which can be really, really annoying to clean up for DRG. But it's not as dire of a situation as I was afraid of. I was afraid hero was about to go very committed into like charge lot Archon. But this is given time for DRG to get some of those roaches out. The Prism was spotted and took a little bit of damage. So this Archon drop suddenly kind of garbage right now. This is a really, really good start to the defense for DRG. Obviously, Archons can still get a lot of damage done. Prism's speed finished up. Wow, that Prism is a speedy boy. But it is still starting to take hull damage already. Should be able to clear up some of this creep, but not really getting much done. I think mostly this is just trying to keep DRG on his side of the map. Maybe he can catch a unit here or there, like a drone or something. Looks like he's just going to kill a couple of lings and then run away. It's mostly to keep DRG on his side of the map so hero can get this base fully set up. Cannons, shield batteries, forward position. And that forward position is going to be very useful as this 2nd Stargate and the Fleet Beacon get set up and we start to see carriers and or Tempest and or Mama ships. Ooh, I like this move from hero. Breaking the rocks down in the middle. Zerg don't like rocks. They don't like things being blocked. They want to get big wide open spaces. As we see, he killed these rocks. Going to give DRG a nice opportunity to try to push up here, but with Disruptors on the backside, cannon, shield batteries, Archons, wouldn't hate to see Storm get researched. Storm pretty good. I feel like hero's in a really good defensive position here, and we're entering a very different game than the last two. 2 carriers on the way. herO is getting into heavy late game play, and he's going to get there. And DRG doesn't really have anything to respond to that just yet. He doesn't have anything that shoots up. There's no Hydra Den. There's no Spire. He's got Queens. He doesn't even have Ravagers to drop Biles. So I feel like he's got to start getting something up soon to deal with this. But I don't think DRG knows this is happening. Double check, but yeah, he's got no scouting on this. The first couple carriers have popped. DRG might have a chance to scout them now that they're out on the front lines, but 2 more carriers on the way behind this. +1 ship weapons nearly done as well for herO. There's the Hydra Den. I feel like against this, you might want Corruptors, though. Hydras are kind of the subpar answer to carriers usually. But with, like, Vipers, they can be very, very strong. It's only 2 carriers at a time. There's going to be 4 out pretty soon. I think DRG could have spotted that carrier. I think he might now know what he's up against. It's a little hard to tell. I think if he wants to go with Hydras, he's got to go soon. That Zealot counterattack, really not it. DRG just going for it. Disruptor Nova's trying to connect, not getting the greatest connections of all time. I don't think herO was really ready for DRG to just push up this ramp. But DRG wants to clear this base out. He has killed quite a few probes. He held off that counterattack beautifully. Disruptor Novas and carriers going to push this away. I don't know if that was worth it for DRG. He's rebuilding a bunch of links. He drops down the Spire. I feel like maybe he didn't see those carriers when that Ling went up there and died. Lings try to dive in, but well-defended 5th base here from herO. Stasis Trap catching a bunch of these Lings. Ooh, DRG trying to hit on the other side now, but the units are here. They have not moved very far away. Spire is on the way now. But the carrier count has already grown pretty high. It's about to be 6. And you know what? There's another Stargate as well. Could be triple carrier production fairly soon. DRG wants to hit on the right-hand side. 4 carriers say, I'm going to make you pay for it. Targeting down some of those Banes. The Adrenalings, though, chewing through the cannons. Static defense getting knocked down. But every single Ling dies. Oh, this poor drone out on the map. DRG's economy leaves a little to be desired, I feel like. He is on even bases right now with the Protoss. herO's just sending some ground units forward. The carriers are on their way, but a little bit slow to join up. Spire is done, but we're not seeing any Corruptors come out yet. Right? Yeah, not a single Corruptor being made. I think that's a problem here. 6 carriers is a little too much for Queens to handle. The ground army is dead, and it looks like DRG wants to try to pull these carriers back by attacking. But he just doesn't have anything to defend here. Okay, finally 9 Corruptors on the way. There's about to be 9 carriers out on the field. Oh, nice Banelings there. And it looks like herO is going to lose a 5th. So both players getting knocked back down to 4 bases. Economically, this is much better for herO, though, who's got these carriers already out, already in the sky, tearing stuff up. They have +2 attack. It's going to make it really hard for these Corruptors to actually get anything done here. Another base going to get targeted down, and then immediately herO goes for the recall. Interceptors flying all the way back across to start killing Lings again. And now it's 4 base to 4. No, it's 4 base to 3, excuse me, as DRG never expanded. I really wish he had taken this base earlier. He's going to try to double expand and retake these bases, maybe. He's just going to try to push across. I don't think he's got enough Corruptors, though. What's the Corruptor count? It's 13 to 11 carriers. Those are 13 Corruptors with no upgrades against +2 carriers. Void Ray's on the way now. Flux Veins Void Ray's coming out for herO. I do think Void Rays are a really good call. They build so much quicker than carriers. You can get out a bunch of them very quickly. Suddenly those Corruptors melt to the prismatic alignment. I feel like there's just going to be too much Protoss here for DRG to handle. He's down 30 supply. He's barely mining, honestly. Corruptors flying in and dying. This Archon's under here as well. And DRG just doesn't have the army to fight this. He's going to kill one carrier, but he doesn't even get the second one down before he taps out. And herO wins game number 3 in just the most Protoss way you can, really short of cannon rushing.